I'm Adam, and this is a video about our 2019 Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road. We'll start with a little walk around of the outside of this 4Runner. As you can see, this is in magnetic gray, and it does feature these great HID projector beam headlights. We'll look under the hood of this 4Runner to see that this is powered by a 4-liter V6 engine, putting out 270 horsepower and 278 pound-feet of torque. Moving around here to the back, you will see that we do have these nice LED taillights. These are great for extra visibility and safety, so that's always a nice touch. I do want to point out one feature that I think is excellent on the 4Runner, and that is the fact that this rear window can roll down. As well, we do feature these great looking 17-inch TRD off-road wheels. These give a great appearance to the exterior and the durability of this 4Runner. This 4Runner specifically does have the TRD off-road trim, as I mentioned, although you can get this in a bunch of other trim levels like Limited. You can get the non-off-roading editions. At the end of the day, this SUV is really designed to be kind of a tough off-roading, kind of all conditions SUV. This is really not focused on being a luxury SUV or anything of the sort. This was really designed with off-roading and durability in mind. With that being said, I do want to also point out the fact that this 4Runner has 9.6 inches of ground clearance, which is very healthy and a lot better ground clearance than you'll find in most SUVs of this size. As you can see, I wouldn't necessarily consider this 4Runner a super beautiful vehicle or anything like that. It definitely does look aggressive. It looks durable. It looks like what it was designed for. All right, now we're going to move here to the inside. Of course, this is where all the technology and the usability lies. So we will start here with the steering wheel. As you can see, we do have a pretty limited button function on the steering wheel here. We have the controls over to the left that help us deal with the radio, which is kind of interesting that they put them on the left side to control the screen on the right. And then on the right side, we have our hands-free phone, and then we have a button that can click through our little display here between the gauges as well. One of the things that you'll notice as soon as you start to get a look around in here is that, as I mentioned, everything is meant for kind of that durability, that functionality. So all the buttons are kind of big and bulky. Everything is kind of rubber trimmed, and it's just really meant to last a long time. Moving up from there to check out the gauges a little bit, you will see the gauges are a very classic design, double needle. We have this little screen here in the middle that gives us a few little bits of information. As you can see, we have just shy of 17,000 miles on this SUV, so low miles, lower than average for a standard year of driving. One thing, this screen kind of leaves a bit to be desired in my opinion. It is not a color screen. It's pretty pixelated and just standard black and white. For this being a 2019 SUV, and especially one that is well over $30,000, you should be able to get a full color information screen right there built into your gauges. I'm not going to go into too much detail with the other features here around the steering wheel. They're all pretty much basic features. As I mentioned, this isn't a super luxurious or advanced SUV. This is an off-roading, durable SUV. With that being said, I do want to move here into the center console with the center screen and everything. This is where everything pretty much lies for us. Starting with the screen up top here, the first thing that you will notice, we do have these two big silver knobs on either side, and then we have the buttons down the left and the right side. These are big, huge buttons. They're very easy to press. You will not miss them when you reach over if you're not looking while you're driving or anything like that. Between them, we do have the small 6.1-inch touchscreen. It gives us the same kind of capability that we're used to in most vehicles, so it's going to give us, radio and such like that. This is just an okay screen in my opinion. A lot of vehicles have better looking screens. Toyota doesn't really have a super great infotainment system like you can see through Jeep, Dodge, Ram, or even Ford or competition vehicles. Even Chevy MyLink, I think, does a better job than Toyota's Entune system. Nonetheless, it does have the Entune system with Sirius XM satellite. We've got Bluetooth, all the things that you're thinking of. As well, we can do built-in navigation. Again, Toyota leaves a little bit to be desired in the terms of what it looks like and kind of how nice everything looks. One thing that I do have to give Toyota a shout out for is the fact that they include a home button and a home screen. So in an infotainment system in your vehicle, I have really gotten used to Ford's sync system. They offer a home screen where you have a compilation of a few different bits of info. I find this to be extremely important. So in this 4Runner, when you press your home button, you'll see that it takes you back to a screen which displays the built-in navigation, it displays your telephone, and it displays the weather. As a little side bit, you can actually reconfigure this screen and choose which information you want to be displayed here. Moving down from the center screen, you'll see that we have the very basic kind of AC controls. So we have our fan speed knob, we have our vent direction, and then we have our temperature here on the right. These knobs are similar to the volume and tuning knobs that you see on either side of the radio in terms of the color and design and such. These knobs are much bigger, they're much more prominent. And one thing that you'll notice both with the radio and the AC knobs is that they're trimmed with these little rubber kind of dots around them. They have a rubber ring all the way around them. This makes them super duper easy to turn, and you don't have to worry about your hand sliding or anything like that. Very easy to grip, very easy to adjust. Moving down from the AC controls, you'll see that we do have a couple little different storage compartments. As well, we have our aux input and our USB, as well as just a standard 12-volt outlet. Moving down from there, as I mentioned, we have another little cubby here, and then we have this interesting little single cup holder here. I'm not sure why they split the cup holders up. Most cars, you know, put your driver and your passenger cup holders together or next to each other. In this 4Runner, they've decided to split them up for whatever reason. As I'm sure you've noticed by now, up here in the right front corner is your transfer case knob. So this is where we go from 2 high to 4 high or to 4 low. And then kind of catty corner here in the bottom left side of the console, we do have our regular gear selector. Right below the gear selector then is arguably the 3 best functions in this 4Runner. It is the window switch to put down the rear window that I mentioned, and then it is our heated seat dials. Before we move into the back seat, I want to take your aim and move it upward so we can look above the rear view mirror where a few more awesome off-roading functions live. Starting up at the front nearest to the rear view mirror on the left side, this is our low speed cruise control. So Toyota calls this their crawl control. Next door to that, we do have our multi-terrain selector. So this can be found in a lot of different vehicles, and this is kind of similar to what you may have seen before. Moving back from that a little, we do have our traction control off button. We have our A-track button, which is for advanced traction control. And then next to that, we also have our electronic locking rear differential. Moving back from there, the final thing that I want to point out here on this upper console is the built-in garage door openers. This is kind of a standard feature. We have 1, 2, and 3 different programmable buttons. I do want to point out the back seats. The back seats are leather as well, matching the front seats. They have plenty of room. So I could very easily ride in the back seat of this 4Runner and not have any frets about it. My knees have plenty of room from the seats up in front. And then as to be expected, the second row of seats folds down flat to give you tons of cargo space. This 4Runner already does feature a ginormous trunk to haul anything that you want, but having the capability to fold that second row down is always an added bonus. Before I wrap things up today, I do want to go ahead and point out the backup camera. It does have one, which is always nice, and it does have the projection lines. That way when you turn the wheel, you know where you're going to end up. This is not the highest quality camera, I will say though. I've seen better pictures. I've also seen worse pictures though, so take that into consideration. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little about this 2019 Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road. If you do have any questions or you want to see this beast in person, you can stop by and visit us here at Jack Schmitt Ford in Collinsville. That's 1820 Vandalia Street. Or stop by and visit us anytime online at jackschmittford.com.